Hey guys, this video is going to serve two purposes. One, someone just sent me kind of an emergency message about their Trident. They actually took it apart to clean it, and the mechanism, the assisted opening mechanism, kind of sprung out, and all the parts went all over the place. So I just disassembled my Trident for the very first time. Take a look inside. Took all the pieces out, and I'm going to reassemble it in front of you here on film. So A, the person who has all these parts now can actually put it back together properly, and B, to kind of show you how these speed assist, or excuse me, that term's probably I think coined by Kershaw. Just the assisted opening mechanism itself works in an SOG Trident as opposed to the torsion bar system that's in a Kershaw. So let's get started. I already have all the parts off and out, ready to go. So here we go. First thing you want to do is put in this coil spring. Now this coil spring is the same kind of spring that's used in a lot of automatic knives, only the coil spring in automatic knives are going to be a lot thicker, heavier duty. And basically this is going to go into the cutout in the handle. Okay, you have the flat bar sticking out this way. That's going to go in that way, just like that. But before I do that, what I want to do is there's a pinhole on the back of the blade. Okay, and that's where this part is going to go. That part's going to go right through that pinhole in the blade. And actually, before I do that, I'm going to, well, I can leave it like that. I have a washer for each side of the blade. You want to put one of the washers on. Okay. Put your blade down for a minute, because you want to get the back of your pivot screw through your bottom handle scale. Okay, now this has a flat end. You want to line that up. It's the only way it's going to go through. Now I want to put this down here. You can see that pin, again, is going to go into that spot. Whoops. I dropped my washer here. It's going to be a little difficult to do, but a little patience and time, you'll get it. Flip this over. Make sure everything's going through the washer. Actually, you know what? This is what I'm going to do. I'm going to put the coil spring down in here first. Get that in place where it needs to be. Push that down into the recess. I'm actually using a Torx screwdriver to get that in place how I need it. Okay, now I'm going to put the washer around the, yeah, this is an easier way to do it. Put the washer around here first, then pop your blade on. Now that pinhole has to match up with the spring. So I'm going to use my Torx driver again. Oops, sorry, I'm off film here. It's a little dark, but I'm just lining that up. So there, perfect. So it dropped in place. It dropped in that little hole, which is very important. Okay, so now we have the blade in. Now, put this down your table. Put your other washer on the front. Okay, and your blade area is done. Now we're going to do the actual assisted part. I got a lot of parts here. First thing you want to do is get this part right here. Okay, this part right here, as well as your spring. Now you want to put the spring on the bottom. Okay, just rest it on there. And then this whole piece, as if it was one, you're going to slide in this back channel. Okay, right in here. Just going to rest this down, making sure that that's still connected. Just like so. Okay, now I want to hold the spring down with my finger so it doesn't pop out of the track, and push this down and in place. Okay, so now it's flat up against the back of the blade. Next I want to put on my actual switch, my locking mechanism. There's a little pin attached to it, and that's going to go in the first hole, okay, right behind this pin. Okay, there's a pin sticking up right here in this part. Let me bring this up and show you a little bit better. See that pin? Well, this pin here is going to go into the hole right behind it. So there we go. Just rest it in. Then you can just rotate it against the other pin. Okay. Now this is the lock. What happens is, as you push down on this, it's pulling this piece down, which is unlocking the back of your blade, allowing you to fold it, and then later locking up on the other side once it's closed. That's what keeps the blade in. Next, I want to put on my safety. Okay. Here's the safety. Move this out of the way. Safety right here has a hole in it. Okay, you want the The red part is what's painted red is what you see through the handle scale, okay, when the safety's on or off. Now there's a pin sticking up here, a separate pin. It's right here towards the middle of the spring. That's what you want to put your safety through. Pin through the hole, very easy. Just let it drop, okay? Now let's see. I got to kind of hold everything together so I can show you how this mechanism works. Your blade is locked open, okay? As you see here, won't move because of this piece here, the bar we just put in. To move the bar down, again, you're using your lock, pulling that down. And you got to kind of, because the handles aren't together, this is going to be a little difficult to do. The pieces you're going to want to, yeah, see the spring kind of popped up a little bit on me. So use 2 fingers, do this, get that blade moving. Oh, the spring keeps wanting to pop up on me, and I'm getting my washer caught on my thumb here. Alright, it's gonna be. Let me try to hold everything down just to close this first, just to show you that. Take my washer off just for a second. And crap, my spring popped up off the blade. This is actually very difficult to show you. I can't. There's a lot of moving parts here, and nothing's keeping them down except for once your handle scale is back on top here. So it's very difficult to show you, but hopefully you guys kind of get the gist of it by this, because I'm going to have to put the handle scale back on in order to get all this functioning properly. I cannot do this, you know, open like this. The parts just want to fly all over the place. And of course I can see why this person was having a problem with this once they got all the parts out. Basically, that's where all the parts go. As you can see how the mechanism kind of works here. Pushing this button down, okay, which is exposed through the handle scale, okay. What you're doing is you're using the spring tension to bring this piece down, okay. Once the piece goes down out of the way, you can move the blade. Now, once this is in the lock position, when you move it a little bit, it's gonna the little lip is gonna catch, okay, and it's gonna want it. The spring itself over here is gonna want to push this out and rotate, which is why the blade swings out. Very, very different from the torsion bar that Kershaw uses. Both effective. This seems to have a lot more parts. It's a little bit more complicated, but they both achieve the same task in opening your knife. So now I'm just going to pop this washer back on, and I'm going to let me just make sure this this screw is still in here. Whoop, sorry about that. So I want to make sure this is still recessed down in the handle. Yes, which it is, because I want to make sure that that blade's going to be flush. There we go, perfect. Okay, so now I'm going to pop the washer back on, and I'm going to assemble the front scale. So first thing you do is, once all your parts are set, you want to take your scale and rest it in place where it's going to be. Make sure your safety and everything is where it's supposed to be. And then you want to start assembling your screws. First thing I would do is put the pivot screw back in. Now this pivot screw takes a torque size 8 bit, okay, which I have right here. So it's a Torx 8. Make sure you get that straight. If you do not put your screw in straight, it's going to mess up the threads on the screw, and you're going to end up having to send it in. So make sure you're putting it in straight. If it's not easily turning, you know, back it up and try it again. So before I put the body screws in, let me see how much tension. No, I have way too much tension on here. What I want to do is put the knife like this, and as you loosen it, you'll see the knife will shoot out, pop in place. There we go. So that's seems to be good tension. Oh, my handle wanted to pop out on me. Alright, so now I'm going to put the body screws in, and then I'll go back and readjust the tension. Alright, you have 4 body screws, and actually I'm almost at 10 minutes here, so you know, I'm going to have to, I don't want to rush it, so I'm going to stop it here and just make a part 2. So I have not put the body screws in, and I'll show you that on part 2.